The big thing that I wanted when we moved to this shop is I always wanted butcher serving, so then we can create a relationship with the customers. They can come here, they know us by name, and we can solve their dinner problems,
This is the Australian Butchers Guild podcast, brought to you by Meat and Livestock Australia, the podcast for passionate butchers.
G'day meat lovers, I'm Doug Piper and thanks for joining in today. I hope you're getting some valuable information from the butchers we're interviewing and keeping you up to date with what's happening around the country, and a big thanks to everyone who are tuning in and enjoying the podcast. In a few moments I'll be catching up with young butcher Matty Papandrea. Matty works in their family business Joe Papandrea Quality Meats in Wetherill Park. Matty's parents Joe and Josephine have been serving the people of Western Sydney for around about 50 years. The family is well known in the community for their range of fresh and cooked quality meats and authentic European small goods. The latest shop is a real artisanal styled butcher shop with shiny black subway tiles, sensational artwork and a huge built-in dry ager. The shop also boasts a kitchen or a takeaway sort of section there called Son of a Butcher, where they are specialising in the butcher's range of cooked lunches for their customers. But before we catch up with Matty, let's go over to Amy Drew for Around the Grounds news and info. Over to you, Amy.
Thanks, Doug. Amy Drew here with an Around the Grounds update for the Australian Butchers Guild. The World Butchery Competition will be held in just 2 weeks in Sacramento, California, where the best of the best will be crowned. 13 teams consisting of 6 butchers from around the globe will have the opportunity to represent their countries by showcasing their butchery skills and competing for the Frida Dick Golden Knife Trophy, along with bragging rights as best butchers in the world. The Junior Butcher and Apprenticeship Competition will be held on Friday, the 2nd of September, with the main Butchers Competition to be held on Saturday, the 3rd of September. The awards night will be held a day later on the 4th of September, US time. The main butchery competition itself is conducted over a 3-hour and 15-minute period, with competing teams given a side of beef, a whole lamb, a side of pork and poultry, which they must then break down and transform into a themed display of value-added products. Independent judges will score each team based on technique and skill, workmanship, product innovation, carcass utilisation, overall finish and presentation. Most teams have been in training since the last competition in Belfast back in 2018 and have been furiously working on perfecting their product range and displays. Congratulations and a big good luck to the butchers and apprentices competing for Australia. And finally, if you missed out on getting your order in for the free Spring Lamb Campaign kit, contact the ABG team at butchers@mla.com.au and they'll get your kit out promptly. And that's all the latest. Back to you, Doug.
Thanks, Amy. Well, it's time to meet today's guest, Matty Papandrea. Welcome, Matty.
How you going, Doug?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, going good, mate. Going good.
How's things out in Western Sydney?
Southwestern Sydney, yeah. We're always busy. This store keeps me very busy, 7 days a week. So constantly, there's always something to do. Never nothing to do here.
Yeah, that's right. It's a typical butcher shop, isn't it? There's always something to do. So how has business been, mate? How's trade been for you this year?
It's been a bit up and down, to be honest. Look, it's been good. I think after COVID and the events we've had in the last 2 years, we've brought a lot of customers back to come into butcher shops. And I noticed that at the start of it, when supermarkets were running out of meat, and they were relying on us. And I think after they got our service and qualities of products and knowledge, they prefer to come to us, and we can show them if they're working on a budget or if they're working, want something special, they know we can help them out either way. And I think customers, we've gathered a lot of customers since COVID, just because they might have never come into a butcher shop before, or they just go to Woolies for convenience. Look, we've been busy. It's been good. I can't really complain there. I've been busy.
Yeah. I was talking to you last week, and you were saying how you, like a lot of other butchers, they're really struggling to get staff, to get other butchers, and anybody, even an apprentice. It's a bit of a mission at the moment, but let's just hope I suppose eventually people will want to come back to work and the job will roll on, hopefully.
Well, I hope so. We've had ads on for 24 months or so, all throughout this period. We've lost a few staff because of visas and things and other issues, but yeah, we need an apprentice, and I need a cook and someone to help my chef in my kitchen here. Mm-hmm. The guys I got here are very good, and I've got a good team. I've got a very good team. You could always improve and have more, so I can get a day off here and there. So
yeah, it's a bit of a struggle to do that, Matty. Just going back to what you were talking about, your customers, you've attracted a few more customers back to the butcher shop. What do you think it is? Is it because of what you sell in your shop, the convenience of your shop, or, are they just don't trust the supermarkets? Or
I think it's a bit of both. Since we opened this store, we've been a traditional style butcher shop. That's our bread and butter. And I don't plan to change that. We're still breaking beef, we're still breaking lamb, still breaking pigs, and I like to have, and even calves when we can get them. I like to have everything sort of displayed in the window. We've got a massive counter here, and it's basically just a specialist. We just focus on meat, and you can get all your products here. And I think we're able to solve their dinner problems, and lunchtime and dinner problems, whether it's a big family event or even families of two, I think just customers being able to come here, and we create a relationship with them. They can ask us questions, and they always respond saying, never thought to do it that way, and I think that's our competitive advantage. Being experienced in what you can do. And a big thing that I wanted when we moved to this shop is I always wanted butcher serving. Sometimes I've got apprentices and training butchers serving as well, so they can learn, but I always try and have butchers serving, so then customers, we can create a relationship with the customers. They can come here, they know us by name, and we can solve their dinner problems. I think with that, the products, we've got a large variety of products. I do a lot of value adding. So we make over 25 different types of sausages. I try stock all Wagyu and different Angus products for the smoking market. We've got the dry age room here. We've got the kitchen, so people can come and have for lunch. We do a little bit of catering out of there too. So we just try and broaden ourselves to allow customers, when they got questions, and they're really simple things too, like, how much do I need for 4 people, like that.
Yeah, it's I suppose it's part of what the butcher's role is to service the customer, and that's what you're doing very well there. Obviously, the shop itself, it's under your father's name. It's Joe Papandrea's Quality Meats.
Yeah, so Joe Papandrea Quality Meats. Yeah, when we come up with the store, at the time, I was at the little shop that we had in this centre, and my dad was up at Mimosa Road, and we're only 3 kilometres apart, basically. And we made a decision as a family. We said, well, we're not far. We can have 2 little shops and spread our staff, or we'd make one big good one, and so we said, well, let's make one big good one. And, we made a big investment here, with my father, my mum, my dad, my brother, and even my sister helps with all the social media and things as well. My brother's a graphic designer, so he had a big input in what the store looks like, and colours, and even my dry age room has got like the little boxes, and I got to make sure, each piece of meat's filled in each little box all the time. And with the development of the kitchen, the joint idea with the kitchen, the reason why I wanted to do the kitchen is because back at the Mimosa Road store when I was an apprentice, on the weekends we used to make everyone lunch and breakfast. So I used to go to the next door, buy everybody stuff, and I was really good at it. The boys loved it because I always made their rolls nice and big. And I said, well, I want to make everybody lunch, So at the time when we opened the store, burgers was a really big thing 6 years ago. There's a nice fad there, and my brother goes, why don't you do burgers? I said, all right, no problem. We'll do a burger shop, and that's how Son of a Butcher started.
Son of a Butcher, that's the name of the burger shop?
Yeah, Son of a Butcher. So my brother come up with the name. Obviously, comes off the tongue of something else,
Yep.
And when we opened the store, I had a smaller menu. So we basically, I do some beef patty burgers, I do panini as well. So I've got a Scotch fillet panino with chicken schnitzel. So a lot of Italian things as well. Like a porchetta one. And the main thing I when I started it, I wanted to try and make like we do on the butcher side. My dad, we hand make all the sausage recipes. I wanted to do the same on the burger side where, the roasting, all the condiments of the burger, we're making in-house, So we make the beetroots, we make the roasted capsicums, we make our own sauces, and it's just basically, having a good lunch, good feed. When we come to this center at the time, there was a few good lunch spots. Our center has developed a lot in the last 6 years, this whole center here where we're at. And but at the time when we first opened the store, like there was a few takeaway, the Red Roosters and Domino's here, stuff like that. But there wasn't like, apart from the fish shop, there's a really good fish and chip shop here. There wasn't really somewhere you could get like a really nice, lunch that's a bit slower than those takeaway stores, but it's a better lunch, and that's what I really wanted to achieve with that. And it's been pretty successful. Like, it's been a lot of work. I remember when we first opened the store, I said to my brother, because it was the first time I walked in basically as a chef in a kitchen, I said, don't just easy opening, slow opening, smooth, slow opening. But my brother being my brother, he smashed the social medias. And the first 4 days, we had hour waits and good fun, absolutely chaotic. It was just like Christmas. I had this chef at the time. He was in fine dining, and his English, because he's a visa worker, and his English wasn't 100%. And all the names, and he was trying to be the head chef, and I was cooking, and then he goes, no, you swap, and then I did a whole day being head chef, organising, and at the end of the day he goes, you're a chef, you're not a butcher,
You missed your calling.
Yeah, I missed my calling. So after that initial hype, it slowed down a lot, and with rotating staff and things, and now the main thing I needed there was just have a familiar face where someone can go to all the time and see the same person behind the counter, just like a butcher shop. When people walk in the shop, you get a relationship with the butcher, and the same happens with my kitchen. So I've got a familiar face there now. He's been with us for two years now, and he's doing really well with my burger shop. And it's just a familiar face. The customers know him. He knows how things want cooked. Some people don't like pickles or tomatoes, and just getting that relationship with people, it goes a long way. And yeah. I think it's one of the biggest things in our industry is just having relationships with your clients. It's very important.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Like it's night and day really when you think about it. Comparing your business, like you're the son of a butcher, to a burger franchise, whereas everything's basically robotic. Well, they're not robotically made, but they're made automatically. This is what goes on that. Whereas that whole service component again just shows how important it is. Like just being able to go in there, because you might eat lunch there 2 or 3 times a week, and having your chef know that you don't have pickles, or you'll have barbecue sauce, or you want chili sauce, or whatever.
Exactly.
That's just such an important part. Like I'd never looked at it that way myself.
Yeah, I had a period of time there where it got really quiet, and I was saying to my parents, I said, what we need here? We just need someone just to be here all the time, that you see the same chef there behind the counter, and you feel confident that the patty's going to get cooked right. And since I've had that familiar face, we've introduced steaks on the menu. We're doing sous vide ribs now. Been able to expand the menu a little bit, where I can a little bit more butchery sort of. People want to come into a butcher shop, they want to have a nice steak, It was very important for that side of my business to have that same person always there. It's been good.
Do you have is it all takeaway, or you've got a restaurant there, like a few tables where they can sit down and eat, or? Yeah,
we put out 3 tables out the front, but it's all takeaway. Basically, you order your burger, you can get it in a combo, chips and a drink. We've got sweet fries, normal fries. I've got a few sides of the menu like arancini and chicken wings, and my chef makes all of that. So the chicken wings I sell in Son of a Butcher, they're different to the ones I got in the counter in the value add. Yeah, so they're like a fried wing. And same as the chicken burger. It's like a fried chicken burger. We do like a separate sort of menu because he sous vide all the rib. We've got a rationale in the shop, which if anybody's looking to do any cooking, that's the best investment you could possibly have. So we sous vide all the pork ribs in there, sous vide the lamb ribs in there. We make a porchetta burger. So it's a panino, it's a bread roll. So we cook the porchetta in there. Even our beetroots, our roasted capsicums that go inside the burgers. But yeah, we also do some catering. So with the catering side of things, it's planned. So we do like roasted veggies, cooked roasts. I've done pulled pork, just pulled meats, where we give them a tray of pulled meats and they can, with bread rolls and stuff, and they can, it's more share platters at a catering function, which is really it's actually really good for an event, because it's very cost effective for the customers. They come fantastic because with the oven, it just makes them really moist, doesn't dry out, because you can leave them in a bit of stock. We're pretty custom in that way. We got an event like this weekend, the client that wants, some sausage rolls cooked, some sausages, chicken schnitzels, so there's little fries here. So we're able to do that sort of catering on the small events of things. If I'm free and the chef's free and we're able to do it, we take the business on,
We've sort of seen a lot of changes over the last couple of years with a lot more people obviously learning, or how do we put it, relearning how to cook, because they were always getting takeaway or whatever. So we've seen that side of it. But butchers, there's been a lot more butchers of recent times where they've bought a rationale or like an oven where they can do a lot of this cooking, and that's where there's a lot of advantages for butchers, because a lot of times you might have product that's not moving in the butcher shop. So, if you can convert that over into the kitchen, cook it up, have it ready to go, like you said, like pulled meats, things like that, it just stops any waste. It just, there's just nothing going out the back door in the fat tubs anymore. It's all being utilised.
That's the sole reason why I put lamb ribs on the menu, because we're always boning out breasts and things, and I sous vide those lamb breasts. They're better than pork ribs.
Of course they are. They are, mate. We know that.
And once customers try them, they come back for them. And we probably cook maybe 12 lamb breasts, maybe 12 to 20 lamb breasts a week, just for the kitchen, and there's 12 or 20 that you don't have to bone out.
That's right. and look at the return on it. It's a lot better that you're getting everything. You're selling the whole lot, bone and all, rather than just the meat.
And they're so easy to cook after the sous vide. We just finish them off on the grill with seasoning's already inside. They're already marinated. You just season them up, you put them in the box. It's simple. It's easy. The flavours. I might have some for lunch, actually. Got to have lunch after this.
You're making me hungry now.
Yeah.
So you thoroughly recommend that, like the whole kitchen side of it, the takeaway bar, mate. If you've got room in your shop,
it needs a lot of work, and you need to find the right person. I find sometimes that me in the store, some days I'm just putting out fires everywhere because I need it on the counter. I need it making sausages. I need to help the kitchen. The hardest aspect of the kitchen is just the service period. So from 11 till 3 o'clock, we're in a lunchtime center, and at lunchtime it's just hard to do that service like any kitchen would. I have one guy in there, and then I'll have to help him in service. And if the butcher shop's busy and the kitchen's busy, the butcher shop, they've got that one less person, which is me. And, I'm pretty good at that side as well. Yeah. So it just gets hard on that 3-hour window. If you were to do a burger shop or making ready-to-eat sort of things, just be wary that there's that period of lunchtime where it gets difficult because people want to eat now. They're hungry, they want to eat, and you've got to try and push this food out quickly and have at a good quality as well. It can be difficult. So if you don't have the manpower to do that, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you can find someone that it works really well with the business, and you get that service feature of your store, which you can't replicate it in a way. Otherwise, if you're making products that are cooked and people can just reheat them or just finish them off at home, that's a great idea for for butcher stores if they don't want to have that service period, because it gets pretty hectic. You come here on a Friday lunchtime and my kitchen is chock-a-block for a good 2 hours straight.
How many burgers a week do you reckon you'd sell?
I reckon we'd get 500.
I was looking at your menu the other day, and I really like the names you've got your burgers. Have you still got the butcher's wife and the
Wob, the Bob. So I've got the Joe, that's my dad. So it's all the family. So the Nick is my wife. She made me put her on the menu.
Okay.
She goes, we're married now. I've got to go on the menu. I said, all right. And I got my sister, the Dob. I'm the Sob, son of a butcher. So the Dob's daughter of a butcher. My dad's the butcher, so the Joe.
Yep.
And then I got the Boss, which is the butcher's other son. That's my brother.
Okay.
And then the Wob, the wife of a butcher, which is my mum.
Yeah.
Then I got the Comparty of a butcher, which is, God family, the Campizis. And we've got Zeal, which is my uncle, Zeal, When we first opened, it get confusing because someone would order a Bob and a Wob, and you go, what, a mob made of a butcher,
Yeah.
I tell everyone who's come into the business and helps me out, once you learn the names and what it is, it's so simple. That was another thing that why we did the burger shop was, I square up all my patties. I've always got fresh patties everywhere in my shop, because it's just so easy to square up, rotate. The more items in your store that you can double up in a way and sell it two ways or on the same sort of product, it just helps with wastage, keeping everything fresh all the time. Yeah. And so the burger shop does that for the patties in a way. Not saying I cook the D-Lo patties, No.
Don't have any D-Lo patties, mate. They're all fresh.
I make patties 3-4 times a week.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Because we also got some wholesale stores that buy them as well.
With your beef patties, what sort of a blend are you using there? Is there anything in particular you're throwing into the mix? Is it just fresh meat and like a 80-20 or a 90-10 or whatever?
80-20. It's always beef trim, or like we get a lot of beef trim off the carcass. So, we've got the carcass beef. I buy some primals in as well. Yeah. So, I try to use bowlers if I can, bowl blades. And we keep all the beef fat off the bodies because the beef's so expensive. In our store, we're chasing beef fat, for patties and stuff, which is, it's gold, Yeah, so we try to stick to an 80-20 or 85-15. We do it by eye in a way, depending on what trim we got, what we're looking at, So most of the trim does come off our bodies, but I'm always buying lean trim or the lean trim I buy comes off the same bodies that I'm buying. Or I buy in bowlers, sometimes briskets. We're using briskets at the start. It depends. Well, I try to use all the 4/4 trim because there's more flavour in the bowlers and the briskets, and we always try and use that.
Oh, that's great, mate. The shop itself, I've been out there. Only been out there a couple of times over the years since it's been open, and it's a beautiful looking shop. It's a lot of black there, the black subway tiles, and like what your brother did, all those the artwork that's around the place, the marketing there.
Yeah, the artwork. Yeah, my brother found some person in South Africa to draw up these things.
Really? Wow.
So I leave that to him, and I do the cutting. I do the hard work.
Yeah. Do what you're good at. That's the best way.
Yeah, I do what I'm good at. He makes us look good. That's what I say to everybody. He makes us look good, and we try to keep people coming in every day. That's the roles.
Yeah, exactly. So Dad's been in I was going through the notes yesterday, and Joe's been in it for 45 years.
Yeah, Joe. Well, in business, yes, but I'll tell you the story about Joe. He when he come to Australia, right? He come to Australia in 1970. He was 16, and my my dad's the eldest of 3 children. So there's my dad, my uncle Vince, who's been in small, Papandrea Fine Foods. He sold the company now, but that was his company. And they got to see Auntie Maria. My nonna had to take them to school, but they had no cars back then. They just, in 1970. So my nonna took them to a primary school and wanted to enroll them in school. And the primary school said, listen, we can enroll Vince and Maria, but we can't enroll Joe because Joe's too old. You know, he's 16, he can't come to primary school, he's too old. And then they said, okay. So that night they went home because they're going to go to enroll into a high school the next day. And that night my nonna got delivered meat from the local butcher in Smithfield, Italian butcher in Smithfield on Hassel Street. His name was Joe Luca. And he needed someone to help him. So my nonna said, do you want to go to work or you want to go to school? And he chose to go to work because it was easier for him because he spoke Italian. My dad spoke Italian. So that's how he started there in Smithfield. That was in 1970. And then in 1978, he took over that shop for a couple of years. And then he went to Dublin Street and a shop in Mimosa Road, and then back to Dublin Street where they had Papandrea brothers in 88 with my nonno. My nonno, my dad and my uncle Vince was all in that store in 88. And then in 96, my dad went to Mimosa Road and my uncle stayed there in Smithfield. And it's been in our area in Fairfield for over 50 years. That's why all our marketing is 50 years because he's been in the area for all that long and running businesses for 45-ish. And he's here 6 days a week, 7 days. His day off, he likes to go to the farm and go visit his girlfriends and check them out, see how they're going. He's got a bit of cattle, 40 head of cattle up in the Hunter Valley. And he loves it. He's got ants in his pants, my father. He can't sit still. And
It's a great story, mate, because the whole family's involved somewhere along the way. Your mum, your sister, your brother, even your
everyone's
wife,
involved.
It's fantastic.
Everyone does something. Everyone sees me and my dad downstairs all the time because we're always here. But my sister does all the social media. My brother's doing all the specials and stuff. He designs all that stuff. If I need anything else designed, he's the one to design it. My mum does all the invoicing and paperwork, and she's like the CEO of the company.
Yep.
She, making sure we're all okay. My brother and my sister, they make us look good, like the marketing team, and me and my dad, we're the employees.
Yeah. The hard workers.
We downstairs and we work and make sure customers are happy and making sure the products are being made right, and that's our pride and joy.
So the butcher shop side of the business, what sort of ratio would it be to the restaurant? Is it at 50-50 or is butchers a little bit more?
No, it's a lot more. It's probably a 90-10 sort of thing.
So you're doing value added. You said you were doing some value add products in your shop. So you're still doing a few bits and pieces. Yeah.
Well, the most popular value add, obviously, the sausages. It's about 25 different types of sausages. And the crumbed products. Crumb chicken schnitzel it sells like mince and sausages, if not more. So our crumbed lines are very popular. I can't run out of chicken schnitzel here.
No.
I can't run out. My customers, I'll be in a lot of trouble if I was to be sold out of chicken schnitzel. But then we've got a value-added section. I make the roast, so we've got a big roast corner. We're making easy carb. Well, I call it easy carb leg of lamb, but it's not traditional easy carb leg of lamb because it's just a deboned leg. We're doing beef rolls, veal rolls, porchettas, pork loin rolls. Make sure got all different style roasts. Sometimes I change it up a bit. I put something new in there, like a rib roast or, crown roast, or like in the World Butchers Challenge, I made that little lamb loin roast with the 4 ribs inside. We make these a very popular line it's a consistent seller now in my shop. I make these lamb rump roasts, and sometimes I make them out of loins too to square up those mid parts of the lamb. So I use half a loin and I debone it, I shape it up. The great thing about that product, it's good portion size. They're all between half a kilo, 600 grams, and they're just a good portion size. They're quick in the oven. It takes 40 minutes, 180, and they're a bit slow at the start because of the price, but once people have tried those little rump roasts and loin roasts, I'm making 16 at a time a week, just then them. They're easy dinners for people. You
mentioned you're in the WBC. I remember those years, the World Butchery Challenge.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in that, mate? You came up through the TAFE system. as one of the up-and-coming stars from what I can remember.
Yeah.
One of the more talented butchers out there, and you did really well in some of those competitions before being chosen to go into the World Butcher Challenge.
I did really well in World Skills. I won the regional, and then I won gold in the national.
Mm-hmm.
And I won a few other little competitions in TAFE as well. And I think through that and the selectors of the World Butchers Challenge, they could see my skills. I got chosen to be a part of it for the 2 years that I was in it. And yeah, it was a great experience. I got a lot of good relationships out of that. Second year, I thought we got it, Doug.
Yeah.
I thought we won.
Yep.
But,
wasn't going to happen.
I was saying about my little lamb loin roast. We made that product, and I looked at the other products that the other competitors did on just that loin,
mm-hmm.
and I thought mine was the best. So it made me feel really proud that I come up with the best loin roast, because then you see photos in the next coming years, and I saw it got copied.
Yeah.
And I get really proud. I get really proud when someone copies my idea, because I know it was a good idea.
Yeah, well, and exactly.
Yeah. We come up with some fantastic products, and I see it in my store. I think a product like that I come up with it worked really good in my store. Other things don't work in my store, but it's good to open your mind up what can be done, and what works in some butcher shops and what doesn't. And the experience, the traveling, it's fantastic. I hope the guys do really well. It's this year, I think.
Yeah.
The World Butchers Challenge.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks away.
Is it in the States?
Yeah, it's in Sacramento. The Young Butchers and the Apprentice competition is on the, I think it's the 2nd of September, which I think time-wise, that's sort of, I think it's actually really the 3rd of September in Australia, but it's the 2nd of September in the US, and then the Butchers are on the following day on the 3rd. And then they're having, rather than having the awards night after the actual comp, they're going to have it the day after, so it gives the Butchers the time to sort of settle down, relax, clean up everything, obviously, from the day before, get the judges to, I suppose, really scrutinise the judging sheets that they've put together, so they can, and then they just consolidate everything, and then they'll be able to have a less rushed approach to the dinner. Because I remember,
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that last one that we were at in the UK, when there was just the 3 teams, and it was like such a rushed process to go from the competition back to get changed, all cleaned up, ready, go back out to dinner, and you're absolutely buggered by the end of the night. So it was, and there was a lot of emotion there too. So it makes more sense to sort of give it a little bit of time, even though you'd be stinging to find out if you won.
Yeah, of course, bit of suspense. That'd be right.
Yeah, but no,
can have a beer that night, a bit of relaxing.
Yeah. You need to have a couple of beers, mate.
Yeah,
the whole thing's actually should run really well, I hope. And look, it's the Butchers, the Australian team that's going over looks really strong. Yeah,
there's some fantastic butchers. Only advice I could give it: just worry about what you guys are doing. Stick to your plan. Back yourselves. You've got good skills. They're in the team for a reason, and it's good to see. Know a few guys in the team, and some I've seen along the way, and I know they're all brilliant guys. They got top skills, and it can be a bit stressful. I remember in the second one I did, Doug, in myself, win or lose, I performed really well in that 3 hours. It was probably I was very proud of my efforts, and I think the team that's going over now just relax and just focus on what you got to do. Back yourselves, and be proud of what you put out at the end of the day. That's all you can do. Hopefully they bring home the trophy. We need one. We haven't got one in a while.
It's been quite a few years now.
Yeah, I didn't get one, and I think the boys before us got it. So 7 years, Doug. It's a long time.
But overall, the Australian team's been very strong. Whether they've always been in the top 2 or 3. When they haven't won it, I think Australia won the first 2 against the Kiwis, and it's been a bit of a drought since then. I think they came 3rd in 2018 in Belfast, I think it was, which was close. Yep. But look, the thing that I love about it is it gives the guys an opportunity to get out there, to show their skills, to show the craft of butchery, and just let people know that it just doesn't arrive on the tray in the shop. there's a lot of work behind, because a lot of these people, a lot of obviously butcher shop customers go and watch these things, or they buy their meat from somewhere, so it gives them an idea of where it all comes from.
When I was competing after the event, there was people are watching, and I had some butchers saying, what were you doing, membrane bone and lamb breast? Never thought to do that, And then they have people that are just interested in butchery. They go, it's amazing what you can do. It's a good show. Everyone's under the pump, and crowd loves it. Everyone's working fast.
That 3 hours goes pretty quick, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. It's like 9 o'clock on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
9 to 12, you look at the clock, you go, good, it's nearly lunchtime. Beautiful.
Yeah. Just got to get through the rest of the day now.
Yeah.
There's 13 teams, I believe, this year.
And when I did it was only 3.
Yeah. But
that's fantastic.
So they've certainly got, I think Poland is one. They've got, obviously, I think Brazil, they've got the French who took it out in 2018, I think it was.
Yep.
Italy, they got the US are really been doing a pretty stellar job sort of putting everything together for the competition, as well as doing all their training as well. And the Kiwis are as competitive as ever. They just want to win, like they always do, like anybody really. But they're certainly in the mix as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's any dark horses come out, because there's so many different countries there this time around. I can't remember who they all are, but it's going to be good fun.
Well, there's a lot of skill there.
Yeah,
all
definitely.
Over the world.
It's a trade where, like a lot of things, and I say it time and time again, you never stop learning. I can go into a butcher shop and I just like watching the guys work, and even though you've probably done it, a million times yourself, you look at the way some people do it, even if the way they're holding a knife or the way that they've angled the meat, or just a method that they're doing to break it down or prepare it. You always pick up a little bit of something there, because it's just intriguing. So for butchers like us to watch other butchers do it, you're sort of like mesmerised watching them doing it, because you appreciate the amount of skill that goes into it. So from a customer's perspective, when you're standing in your butcher shop just slicing out a rump or a cubie or whatever you're doing there, they have that same appreciation, I think, because they see what we can do.
Customers love, if I need some T-bone and I have to pull out a hindquarter, because I've got the rails out the front of the shop.
Yeah.
I pull the hindquarter out the front, I start breaking it in front of them. And customers go, oh, that's mad.
Yeah.
I've had customers, they want to walk in, they want to take videos, what we're doing for them.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. Even they're like breaking a pig. I think with just with YouTube and all videos and things, people want to see how things are made, how things are done, how they're prepared. And it's the same with our trade. Even I got that half a body that hangs in the dry age room. We put a display body, and people just love that, because they see, we don't really see half a body of meat at Woolworths. People love to watch how you do things.
It's the old analogy, like stock sells stock. So if you've got a heap of meat out there, if you've got a lot of lines out there, you've got your windows all full, people will stop and have a look. And it's the same sort of thing when you're actually out there, when you've got meat in front of you, you've got maybe not a pile, but you're doing something people like to watch, because it gets their attention, and and they'll stop and watch, and that brings a crowd too. Yeah, because you'll see one person stop, and then they'll go, "What are they looking at?" Oh, right, he's doing that. Yeah,
what is he doing for him? Yeah. I want it done for me. Bring out a whole set of rib, and people that want to buy a tomahawk, they want something big. They want you buy a tomahawk, you want a big tomahawk, you want the theatre of it, So you bring out a whole rack because you have to cut one fresh. So you want the whole lot? This is it. It's all for you.
I remember when we used to do when I was working for Big Fresh, and we had a service component. So we had a big counter, a bit like one that you've got there. We had a huge counter in front of us, and then we had all our pre-pack across the way a little bit. But we had a big open area where we used to cut all the meat. And every time that we'd get the lambs, we'd get 30 or 40 lambs in a couple of times a week, and we'd be breaking them down. And the crowd out the front, as they're walking past, they're always stopped. You'd always end up with about 5 or 6 or 10 people there, just absolutely gobsmacked watching the butchers run the lambs through the bandsaw, and just the speed. And yeah, they couldn't really see a lot, but it was just the noise and the whole atmosphere that was involved.
Yeah, it's the atmosphere. Atmosphere brings people. Like I was saying before about relationships and if something about just having music playing in the shop. I like that all the time. Have the music on just to create an atmosphere inside the store. You see people, the customers are talking to us, we're talking to them. There's some mixed conversations between customers and the different guys. Yeah, it's just like you're at home, basically making people feel comfortable. I think there was they feel, because some people don't like to ask. They feel not embarrassed, I guess shy in a way. And it's just about, if people are feeling comfortable inside your store, they will ask those questions they want to ask because they feel comfortable talking to you, and they'll buy more. You know, they spend more, and because you got that atmosphere. That it's like you walk into a busy cafe and you know, you're like, oh man, this is pumping in here. You know? And it's the same thing when they walk into here. I want them to feel that same sort of energy.
I bet you the butchers love Saturdays, like weekends sort of thing. You know, not so much to work, but for selling meat, because with the low and slow cooking, the barbecue movement that's just getting out of control. Like butchers, people are coming in, they're buying, not just buying, you know, a couple of kilos of sausages and a couple of steaks, they're buying tomahawks, they're buying rib sets, they're buying, you know, short ribs, briskets.
Well, this is why I have that, you know, with the dry age room. I've got a lot of Wagyu lines now, just because people are asking. You know, I get in trouble if I don't have Wagyu ribeyes or Wagyu tomahawk here.
Really?
Because if any butchers are there and they're worried about the price, the issue I think with butchers with the Wagyu and the dry is the price and the amount you have to buy. So the way we've come about it is we portion cut all the Wagyu, all the steaks, and we vacuum seal them. And they're in the window, vacuum sealed, they're portion cut already. And same with with the rationale oven. All my dry age, I hang it up here for 28 days, and then we make sure everything's sanitized and everything. The benches are done, pencils done, and we cut all the Wagyu, and we cut all the dry age, and they're packed individually. And then I use the rationale to shrink them in a shrink bag, and with the steam. That's the top secret there. Doug?
Yep. Shh, don't tell anybody. I won't tell anyone, mate, honestly.
Yeah, I told everybody now on the podcast.
Your old man's going to kill you.
No, he's all right. He'll be right.
Just don't tell him.
No, I won't tell him. He doesn't know how to use a computer anyway. He can't listen to the podcast. No.
So you're pretty much homogenising the meat, aren't you? So it's actually, you're killing all the bacteria in the bag.
Yeah. Like all the dry age cuts are displayed vacuum sealed in my I serve them out of the actual dry age fridge where the body is. I've got little plates, and I'm sourcing this truffle butter now, which works really well. I've got this local girl, she makes these truffle butter logs, and I've got them in my dry age room there. So people go to look at a dry age and they see the truffle butter. They go, I've got to have truffle butter on the dry age, you know, because these sort of products, with the Wagyus and the dry age, I find that they sell them to market them, like when customers are talking about it and say, oh, I'll do it when the kids are out, you know. I'll just have it for me and my wife. For those little wins in time where the kids are at the mums or at the in-laws or something, to enjoy a little bit of life. And that's where those products where you can, that dry age, the Wagyu lines, and it doesn't always have to be like an anniversary or something. It's just the dinner for two. And that's why I like to pack them individually, because like we cut in them every week. But then the clients they've got shelf life in their own fridge. Yeah. Where they say, I don't have to cook it today. I can cook them in 3 or 4 days' time. Yeah. And when we started the dry age, I had a different system. I used to bring the whole piece down and display the black, you know, the actual age. And it didn't work. It didn't work for us at first. Now, this system's working a lot better because they see a normal steak. Then it brings them to ask, how is that one different to the one in your window? Why is it more expensive a kilo? And then that's the opportunity to explain how the dry aging process works. And, you know, we show them the room upstairs. So we're hanging everything upstairs for 28 days. And then, you can talk to them about it. And just because of the price of these items, some people do have a, you know, family barbecue with it, but most people don't. It's a treat. Because if they were to buy that 600-gram T-bone in a restaurant, they're looking at 160, you know, or 100, you know, they're looking at a really high price. And once again, with COVID and things, I think people have learnt, they've got their skills up to speed on how to cook these sort of products. And yeah, once they get it right the first time and they get their technique right, because I tell customers all the time, I said, you can look at many YouTube videos and a lot of barbecue pages and advice, but at the end of the day, cooking meat's a personal preference. You like it the way you like it, and the system and the process that works for you, keep doing it. You know, if you reverse sear or sear it first, and then whatever process you're happy with and works for you, keep doing that way, because you're confident of that way and you always get the same result, and you'll be happy. You won't feel like you're wasting your money when you buy an expensive steak. So
what's on the agenda for this afternoon, mate? Going back, you've bought yourself a home and your first house, and you're doing a bit of renovating.
Yeah, I've been a landscaper the last week and a half. Well out of my comfort zone. When I work outside for a week and a half, I really enjoy my job.
Yeah. I hear you.
Working outside's not for me. I like it, don't get me wrong, but I prefer to be a butcher.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you, mate.
I'm better with food, so I can't wait till I'm finished.
Yeah.
Because then I can use my barbecue area and use it for what I want to use it.
Yeah. Well, Matty, it's been great catching up with you today, and really appreciate the time. You know, I hope the butchers out there will, you know, got a little bit of something out of it, which is what it's all about, is just learning and listening and, you know, just taking on board what other butchers are doing. So thanks a lot for your wisdom.
Oh, some wisdom.
Some wisdom.
Still learning, Doug. I'm still learning. I'm only 30, you know.
Is that all?
My wisdom up to now.
Thank you very much, Matt. And I'll look forward to. I'll come out and see you over the next couple of days and have a burger.
Definitely come out. We'll make you a burger. Make you a burger. You can try.
I'll be there.
I've got plenty to choose from.
Yeah, I know. And, very good.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Thanks a lot, Matty.
All right. Thanks a lot, Doug. Thanks a lot. We'll do.